Christmas festive season often brings more than good cheer and brandy butter. For many people, it's a case of spending too much and getting deeper into debt. And debt is a major stress factor and one of the biggest healthcare risks to South Africa's workforce. In studio now to talk about the impact of debt on the workforce is Richard Malcom. He's the Managing Director of Workforce Healthcare. Richard, welcome. So I want to start off with you telling us how debt impacts on the body, apart from a loan shark bashing you on the head.
Oh, it's an interesting concept. We've been providing healthcare for many years, and what I've noted over the years is the actual impact that debt has on people. And we've noted that debt has increased over time.
Yeah.
So there's a direct impact and a secondary impact of debt on people's wellness. So the primary cause of debt is
The direct impact must be what? Increasing cortisol.
That's right. So the primary impact is on people's personality,
yeah,
on their emotions, the fact that they become very stressed. So as you mentioned with cortisol, there's an impact of increase in cortisol in the body, and almost every system in the body is affected. So stress becomes a very big problem, and stress leads to conditions such as anxiety and depression, but it has impact on systems such as the pulmonary system. Asthma becomes an issue. There's on the muscular system, so people get tension headaches, their back aches, they have generalized pain. So it becomes amplified, the direct causes of stress on a person's health.
Yeah, and mental health is already one of the biggest risks and weaknesses facing the workforce, isn't it?
It's a big problem. So what we do is we provide a service to employees at the workplace where there's a 24-hour call center. People got any kind of problem, they can call in and they get assistance. And they also get advice in terms of how to deal with the debt problems.
Okay, so I want to get on to, we'll stick to the impacts right now. Productivity. Do you have any stats on how debt relates to productivity?
Well, debt's got a big impact in terms of looking at the garnishee orders at a business. So up to 30% of the payroll has got garnishee. So we can see that there's big impact of debt on the workplace. So the direct impact will be that absenteeism increases, particularly around payday, because there's loan sharks hanging around the business to try and get paid. So we find an increase in absenteeism on specific days. The productivity becomes affected because people are so stressed out that they can't concentrate at the workplace. They have to change their SIM cards all the time to try and avoid people pursuing them for their debt.
Okay, so it would be all about education and awareness, I guess.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, whose responsibility do you think that is? Is it the companies? Is it the banks?
Well, I think it's a overall responsibility of all sectors of the economy, the employer, because the employer wants his employees to be functional and to be productive. So we deal with a lot of companies that care about the employees and understanding that by looking after the issues such as debt, it can improve productivity. So a lot of companies run programs where there's education, there's programs that will help people understand how to prevent debt and how to get out of debt.
So even though the banks are obliged in terms of the Twin Peaks legislation to promote financial education, I mean, there's still a lot that companies should be doing, and some are doing some stuff, as you said, yes, but most of them surely could be doing a lot more.
I think that a lot could be done because South Africa is rated as one of the highest indebted countries in the world.
Yeah.
We really see this as a big risk on a national level. So it's important for companies to be responsible and to be able to educate employees and drive in a direction where they can understand how bad debt is and how to try and avoid it. A big problem comes with new people coming into the marketplace. It's their first paycheck they're getting, and they're already planning how much they're going to spend and how to get into credit. So on induction, it's be very important to train people and educate people how to avoid debt and how to save.
Yeah, and companies shouldn't see this as a cost, because at the end of the day, they would get benefits through increased productivity and having employees last longer.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so let's go through some of the ways that employees can get through Christmas without incurring debt. I suppose the most important one is living within your means.
Absolutely. So budgeting is very, very important. People need to be able to plan, understand what kind of bonuses they're getting, look at their salary, and then look at what their planned expenses are. pull it in the family, look at where they want to buy, where they want to go on holiday, and plan around that and work within their means. Very, very important.
But how does the average employee sort of stand up against familial pressure to buy gifts, to join them
big problem.
At the holiday in the Midlands or wherever?
It's a big problem.
How do they handle that?
No, it's very difficult. So it's very important to be able to get advice. So if the companies do offer services where they can be given assistance and advice how to deal with debt, with how to avoid being pressurized in terms of spending more or lending people money, I think that there's a joint responsibility to assist people.
And it's not putting yourself in a position where you feel like you have to spend money. So I know somebody who buys Christmas gifts in January. And then you only go to the shop with a certain amount of money so that they're not distracted by what
That's
they're
very clever. Post-Christmas presents.
Yeah. Well, it must be hard to explain that to your kids, surely.
Yeah. Well, you give him a bonus. You say, I'll give you a bigger gift after Christmas.
Okay, on that note, Richard, thank you so much for coming in today. Interesting stuff. Thanks.
Thank you.
That was Richard Malcom, the Managing Director of Workforce Healthcare.